Every year about this time seems we catch up with Jens Jorgenson. The Pennsylvania State Taxidermy Association Sportsman Show 2025 is coming up this weekend, Saturday. It is the third annual show at the KCAC, and it's from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. For adults 16 and over, $10 admission. Children get in free. And then the taxidermy competition arena, that really heats up from noon to 4. And don't forget, you can vote on your favorites. Jens is here to tell us all about the show, get us all set up for it. Our visit presented by Marcus and Mack, voted the best law firm and the best personal injury lawyer 3 years in a row in the Best of Indiana County contest. Visit them online at marcusandmack.com. Jens, you probably won't have to wear that fur coat that you made.
Yeah, no, the weather's looking a little bit more cooperative this year. So
yeah,
but yeah, we're really looking forward to it. You know, this is I think our third year that we're doing this Sportsman Show in conjunction with our taxidermy competition and convention, and you know, it's been growing every year. So
yeah, it really grew from just a seed planted back 3 years ago, didn't it? You didn't do this type of a show before you came to the KCAC 3 years ago.
That's correct. Yeah, it was a new venture for us, you know, as an organization, but you know, the venue is set up such that we felt it was very conducive to do that. Obviously, we try to drive public attendance to kind of see the taxidermy art that is on display. You know, we usually have 200 or so pieces in the display to see, and we thought, you know, what else would people want to come and see? You know, it only takes a few minutes potentially to walk through the taxidermy room, so what else would draw people in here? And this time of year, you know, weather can be kind of off or on, you know, good or bad, and people are starting really thinking about fishing season coming up. Hunting seasons is just finished, you know, the turkey season's coming, and you know, sportsmen's kind of like things to go do and see. So we came up with this idea of doing the Sportsman Show in conjunction with our taxidermy competition, and man, it's blossomed. We have 70-some vendors this year, and the attendance has grown every year. So it's a good thing for the community.
Yeah, I was looking at the list of vendors, and yeah, the first day of trout season is always the first Saturday of April, and so that's coming up very, very shortly. And you've got all kinds of great vendors who are specifically geared toward fishing and the fishing arts. And you just look at the number of different vendors that are there. The Yellow Creek Trout Club will be there. And just look at there's sprinkles, baits, all kinds of different things having to do with fishing. And you actually do demonstrations. And this year, kids can learn how to tie flies.
Yes, and obviously that's the future of the outdoors, right, is the children. So, you know, having the opportunity for your kids to kind of come and see and shop and look at all these different suppliers, and then, yeah, maybe get the fly tying and fly fishing bug, you know, by going to that booth. It should be a good opportunity for all family and friends, and it's not all just hunting and fishing. I mean, there's obviously vendors that are just outdoors related, or just I know my wife's always excited every year to come and buy a bunch of things of honey, because there's a big honey vendor that always comes, you know. So there's a little bit of everything for everybody, and then like we've said before, in conjunction, you get to come through and see some tremendous wildlife art.
Yeah, the wildlife art is amazing. But you're right. Huckabee Farms will be there with their honey that they make, and there will actually be live bees in a hive from Thriving Hive bees that will be there. They'll have some of their honey as well. The shooting sports, fishing, and things like that. There's even some demonstration type things like a sign company going to be there with metal signs, and there's also some raffle booths too.
Correct. Yeah, we try to make it, you know, interactive, you know, as best as we can, and you know, giveaways and raffles for the public to come, and there's also going to be a food truck there, you know, so you can come and spend a few hours, you know, going through all the vendors, grab something to eat, and then mosey on over and come through the taxidermy showroom. So it's not something you come and just would cruise through in 15 minutes. You know, we're trying to make it where somebody can kind of come and spend a portion of their day there and have an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, there are charcuterie and cutting board demonstrations. A&T Wood Shop will be there. There's laser engraved maps and cutting boards and all kinds of different things there of that nature as well. There's even turkey feather painting and art. You got to see that.
It's amazing. I mean, like, it's one thing to be a good artist and be able to, do a painting or a drawing on a big piece of canvas, but to be able to do it on something as delicate as a feather and the detail that is put into those is truly amazing. That the artistic ability of some people in this world is mind-boggling.
So tell me about the show. It's 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. For the show itself with all of the vendors, but then there's the taxidermy competition arena. That gets all heated up at noon, huh?
Correct. Yeah, we kind of overlap them some, but then also have them separated a little bit, so come and, cruise around the vendors for a while and then move into the taxidermy room. And we try to do that or we can space it out because, we have hundreds and hundreds of people that come through this from the public, and we obviously cannot support them all on the taxidermy floor at one time. There's just not enough room, right? So we kind of space that out over multiple hours to where, like, you can come and spend some time in the vendor area, and then whenever the flow through the taxidermy convention is not as heavy, then you can kind of peruse and walk through that, right, and spend time looking at all the art down through there. And, the Kowalczyk Center and everybody in Indiana has been tremendous as far as helping get this thing going, from when we started to now. Like, it's growing leaps and bounds, and the public feedback that we've been getting anyway has been fantastic. So it's something we're excited to do and, plan on doing hopefully is, more years to come. So.
Yeah, the public can actually vote on their choices as well for some of the taxidermy art.
Yeah, and I will tell you, like, as a competitor in the taxidermy side, that's kind of a big deal. Like, ultimately, we do this art for our, for your own personal satisfaction, but also for customers. And our main goal is to make our customers happy, right? So, like, this People's Choice Award that we have, where, like, the public can vote on this. I mean, that's a big deal to win that award. I mean, that's a very satisfying award to win. That our ultimate end users, the customers, right, chose our piece to win. Like, that's a prestigious award. So everybody that comes through gets a little piece of paper, and they get to pick their favorite one out of a couple hundred.
So, Jens, what are you bringing to the show?
Well, I can't tell you that because then it would potentially skew the results. So, but yeah, I do plan on. I have a couple things there, and my son actually is going to bring some stuff too. So.
Oh yeah. You've seen some of the things that will be there, though, because someone might say, "Well, I came last year and I saw it, so I don't need to see it again." But it's new every year.
100%. Yeah, you're not allowed to bring previous year's work, so every year is new and fresh, and you just never know what's going to come in. Lions, tigers, cats, bears, fish, birds, mammals. I mean, it's a hodgepodge of stuff, North American stuff, and then also stuff from abroad, right? So. A lot of times we'll have, there'll be fish and birds and deer shoulder mounts, but it's just not limited to that. You're going to see life-size pieces. It's not just a bunch of deer heads on the wall, I guess is what I'm trying to say. There's a lot of life-size pieces, full birds, and a lot of, like, scenes where there's multiple animals together on one piece kind of telling a story, So I don't want people to think they're just coming to see a bunch of deer heads on the wall. That would take 5 minutes to walk through, right? There's a lot of very intricate planning and art that goes into these pieces for the competition.
They set up the show so very, very nicely. So tell me, as a taxidermist, obviously you've got the fur-bearing animals, and some of those are very large, and some of those are very small, and so you have that. You have a fish, and you have fowl, and I would think that setting up a bird. As a taxidermy piece of art is very, very delicate work. Would I be right about that?
100%. Yeah, bird taxidermies. They all have their intricacies, right? All the different disciplines within taxidermy, and birds are all about knowing the anatomy of the bird, knowing where the feather tracks are supposed to lay within that anatomy, and then the final preening that you usually do with tweezers to kind of make sure that you're teasing those feathers to lay, appropriately where they're supposed to lay anatomically based on whatever species of bird that you're doing. So it can be very tedious, working one feather at a time, making sure they're all just perfectly aligned to where they should be truly in nature. To pull that off takes some time.
And it really does look amazing. I'm looking at the poster right now, and I don't know if that's a fisher that I'm looking at or what that animal is, but some of the animals that you'll see are native to Pennsylvania. Some are not, correct?
Correct. Yep. You see stuff from all over North America, and a lot of times from stuff from overseas. A lot of times we'll see some African, work, or sometimes even some of the European countries. You just never know. But yeah, usually there's a pretty good variety. Obviously, it's going to be more heavily weighted towards North America and Pennsylvania because that's where we're located.
Mm-hmm.
But, a lot of the big taxidermists in our state do work from all over the country and world for that matter. So you always have a chance of seeing something special from somewhere else.
Jens Jorgenson with us this morning. The PA State Taxidermy Association Sportsman Show 2025 is coming Saturday to the KCAC, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. For the vendor show, and then the taxidermy competition arena. That gets rolling around noon and through the course of the afternoon. You get a chance to get on the floor, and you can vote for your favorites. Jens, how many of these types of shows does the Taxidermy Association do across Pennsylvania through the course of a year?
We just do one. This is kind of our big hurrah, right? We used to have some smaller shows that we would do, but it was just tough attendance-wise to pull those off. So we kind of put all of our effort and time, like literally Sunday when the show's over, we'll already start the plans for next year's show, right? So this is our kind of one big showcase event that from the taxidermist side, it's it starts for us on Wednesday evening and, goes heavy Thursday and Friday and then Saturday. And so there's a lot of learning opportunities that in seminars and stuff for teaching that we go through through those few days. Mm-hmm. And then Saturday is kind of like the compilation of everything, right? Like it's the competition rooms open to the public. We have the Sportsman show in conjunction with it, and then our awards banquet that evening, right? So Saturday is kind of like the final push for our 3-4 day show. But this is our big show, and then there's also a national show and a world show every other year. So that's kind of like the hierarchy of things. But Pennsylvania has been known to kind of have one of the largest shows in the whole country, and we're hoping to keep it that way.
So taxidermists from all over the state are actually going to be here starting tomorrow, and then they'll have a couple of days where they actually talk shop for a while and have some educational seminar type of things going on, maybe learn some new techniques, and then the actual show over the weekend. It's a much bigger event than folks probably realize.
Correct. Yeah, they see a little snippet of it, that Saturday. But yeah, it's a full 3 days of learning and networking and catching up with old friends, and we get people from a lot of other states too. It's not just Pennsylvania taxidermists. We'll have competitors coming from all over the country, up and down the East Coast, middle part of the country. We even get some people from the West on occasion. So nice. It's a
right
big
here,
gathering of taxidermists. Yeah.
Right here in Indiana coming up this Saturday. Jens, thanks so much for visiting with us this morning. You're going to be coming, along with many, many others, to Indiana to the KCAC on Saturday. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it, and I hope to see you all there.
There's Jens Jorgenson with us here this morning on the Voice of Indiana County, WCCS, 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com.